Good afternoon, YouTube. Just wanted to make a quick video. It's January the 6th, Wednesday, and there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. The first thing I wanted to talk about was real quick was today is the counting of the official counting of the electoral college votes by Congress, and it's usually ceremonial, but there's gonna be some Republicans in the House and the Senate that are gonna object to it, to the count, which a lot of us know. There was some fraud or supposed fraud, vote tampering, all kinds of things that happened in the election. Me myself personally, I believe it's kind of ironic, but I always thought that there are no presidents that are elected. They're excuse me, they're selected. I always have said that, but in this election, it just seemed, it's like it was in your face. All the vote tampering and all the it seems like so too many things to count. Votes getting changed by the computers. I normally don't have any interest in the elections because I always felt they were corrupt and they didn't mean anything. But I think it's very important for people to pay attention to what's going on, because even if you're a Democrat or a Republican, if all of this is true, what happened, which to me it seemed like, I mean, it's so in your face. The next time, like for the people that are Democrats, I mean, y'all are happy that Joe Biden won, but the next time, it might be that it's used by the other party, and so another thing that's going on in Washington D.C. right now is well, not in Washington D.C., but in Georgia. There's a Senate race for two senators, and I believe if the Democrats, whichever party wins those seats, the majority will be they'll have the majority in the Senate. So it looks like excuse me, it looks like the Democrats are going to win both races. I think they already won one seat, and they're on tap to win the other seat. Donald Trump has gotten a lot of pushback from his own party. A lot of congressmen are they've kind of like been pushing back on Donald Trump about him objecting to the election, and they've basically backed up the other party, the Democrats, in a show of solidarity or whatever. But it seems to me like that's just something else that I've always thought, is that there's not really two parties. There's two parties for the American people to jump to either side and to keep us divided. And I think this is a good example of there's not really two parties. There's really one party, and that's the party of the ruling class. And it seems like they're really they're big government, and they're communist, at the very least an oligarchy. So that it's two parties for show, but in reality there's really just one party, and it's the rulers, and then there's they're there to rule over us, and really just to loot us, to loot the country, and just basically they're parasites. So there's a lot of people in Washington D.C. right now, and it's very important that that people just be careful. I personally would never go to a protest or something like that where they're talking about violence, or not that, I'm a peaceful man, but there might come a time when you might have to defend yourself, or use force or whatever. I believe there might come a time, but out there in Washington D.C., the way it's going on, There's no organization. There's no. There's too many. I mean, there. What's the objective? Nothing's gonna get done. You're just asking for trouble, and um, plus there's, you know, even the people that are, you know, for the Constitution, you got law enforcement infiltrating those groups. You got the militias getting infiltrated, at least in my opinion, by government agents, mercenaries, contractors, intelligence groups. So you don't even know what's, who's who, if who you can trust. So just stay away from them. Stay away from those things. The reason I bring this up is because it might spread. If there's any kind of chaos or any kind of, some kind of altercation between the left and the right, Antifa and right wing, so-called right wing groups, it might spread to the other cities, but normally that happens in the inner city, in the downtown areas. But that being said, just keep your eyes open, and if the way it looks, I mean, Joe Biden's going to be declared the winner. I mean, he's been declared the winner. The electoral college votes are going to be counted, and he'll be officially declared the winner. And then I think on January the 20th, you have the inauguration. But the whole thing, it reeks of corruption. It reeks of fraud. And it seems like those are the signs of a banana republic. So I'm sure that y'all can see that for yourselves. It's not it's very disorganized, and it's just in your face. It's almost like to mock the people, and it's kind of sad to see that so many people are taking sides against each other. One supporting Trump, one supporting Biden, or the left and the right. When really, what it is the ruling class has us like that. And as long as we are at each other's throats, we don't get to concentrate on the real enemy, which is them, the ruling class. So the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and I know I keep, bringing this up, is, our economy is not in good shape. Our dollar is the value of our dollar is being eroded as they keep printing money, with nothing to back it up. Especially with these stimulus checks that they're printing up, and really, the majority of the money is not even to us. It's going to other countries. It's going to corporations. It's going, it says it's listed as it's going to like Vietnam, just for example, or it's going to Pakistan, but what that really means is it's going to the bureaucracy over there, and they just spread it among themselves. Excuse me, to the heads of the departments or whatever. It's basically going to people, off of our supposed tax dollars or whatever. So the other day I was talking about the economy, how here in where I live at, in South Texas, San Antonio, it doesn't look like it's the economy. There's a lot of the economy doesn't look like it's that bad. A lot of people are working. There's a lot of traffic in the street. The stores, even though there's like I think the capacity is like lower to like 50%, I believe, on the restaurants. I'm not sure if the bars are open, but it seems like there's work. There's of course the big companies like the grocery store chain that here, which is HEB, Lowe's, Walmart, Academy. Those are open, and have been open since the very beginning from the lockdown, when they started. The big corporations, the big companies are open. Even the small stores, the small companies, the small business owners, private owners, it seems like they're doing okay here in the city. I had a friend of mine, Allison Faye. bring up the fact that there's the military is one of the reasons the economy is still good here in San Antonio is because of the military, and that's true. Part of the budget, the U.S. the government, part of the budget goes to the military. It's over like $700 billion, and that's just what's in the public. What we can know. We have 5 military bases. I think actually one of them was closed, but it's still. They're called joint base now. Joint bases. They're not really military base. They're called joint bases, and there's a lot of private companies in there making airplanes, Boeing, jet propulsion. All scattered throughout the city. So the city, the economy is supported first of all by the military. There's a lot of military personnel, as well as the people that work on the bases. It's part government and part private. So a lot of government jobs, right? But the government jobs are not just the military. We also have, for example, the housing authorities, the county housing authorities, the city housing authorities, which are basically they're branches of HUD, of the Housing and Urban Development. We also have here in San Antonio, we have NSA, and we have, which employs a lot of people. We have the Southwest Research Institute, where they do a lot of research for the government. And we have the utility companies, which are pretty big, and they hire, that's everywhere, I understand, but they do hire a lot of people. So there's a lot of, and of course the city workers. So if you think about it, a lot of the economy is based from government workers, be it local government or state government or federal government. And there's even some manufacturing. There is we do have production, a productive industry that actually produces things. A lot of the country, we shipped off a lot of jobs overseas. I know my parents, my mom and my dad, when I was younger in the 80s, they lost their jobs because their companies, one of them moved to Mexico, which was a Lucchese boot company. And then my mom's company, she used to work for Levi Strauss, and that company, I believe they went to Mexico also. I'm not too sure, but there is production here. Now, the thing is that although yes, we have an economy that's supported by, like, the military, for example, but that money that the military is being supported by, it's being printed out of thin air. There's nothing backing it but the promise of, in the future, our labor. It's gonna pay for that. 10 years, like this, the bonds, the treasury bonds, some of them mature in 10 years, some of them mature in 30 years. So there's a promise that in the future, all this money getting printed up is going to be paid. But I mean, they're printing over, it's in the trillions now. I remember when not too long ago, when the first time the deficit, what they were going to spend, the budget over what they had. I remember the first time I went over $1 trillion, and I was like, man, I can't believe they're actually doing that now. This past year, I believe, I might be wrong, but I think that the deficit is like double. They actually went like $4 trillion over. I might be wrong. It's just they're printing money like crazy. They're printing it like there's no tomorrow, and really they're gonna crash our economy. And so while our economy looks good, I wanted to, again, our daughter's being devalued because of all this money printing. Okay, the economy looks good, but it's based on a lie. And the reason I'm telling y'all this is because y'all really need to stock up again. I'm not only am I telling y'all, suggesting to y'all that y'all prepare by stocking up on food, on water, on fix your cars. Maybe get your, if you use glasses, get your glasses. Dental work, whatever. There's a lot of signs that our dollar is losing value, and one of the things is that I've noticed is the food. Like, I eat pretty healthy. I try to eat healthy. A lot of the stuff I eat is organic, like, coconut oil, olive oil. I try to eat organic. It's more expensive, but you can't put a price on your health. But I do, once in a while, we like to eat chips, Doritos, whatever, you know. But I'm starting to notice that those ingredients that these products use, the products taste different. And the reason is because they're using inferior ingredients. They're using synthetic ingredients. They're no longer using the real thing. They're using a cheaper version. There's even candy, like chocolate, for example, that doesn't even taste like chocolate. As a matter of fact, it doesn't use chocolate. It uses another ingredient that's synthetic. It's not real chocolate. Another way you can tell is when you buy something that's packaged at the grocery store. It might be the same price, but the packaging is smaller. So I've already gotten used to, when I look at what's a better deal in the grocery store, I don't just look at the price, but what I do is I look at the price per unit, like either by ounces, what's the cost of each ounce. It might be grams, whatever. But the price per unit. So if something costs like 11 cents per ounce, I'm just making it up, as compared to something that costs 15 cents per ounce, then the better deal, of course, will be 11 cents. You're paying less. Now, some things I don't skimp. Some things, if I have to pay more, I pay more, because I know that it's better. It's better for us. Now, by profession, I'm in facilities maintenance. I work in maintenance, and I notice that a lot of the parts, especially the parts that come from China, they're inferior. They break easier. Sometimes I feel like they're doing it on purpose. They're sending us some junk, but it's not good. Doesn't last long. We get a lot of what we call duds. They break easy, or they're right away. They're no good. Somehow they pass quality control. But the parts are inferior. They're not as heavy. They're not as robust. They're not as solid. They're flimsy. So also, these parts are made with inferior materials. Like, again, they're flimsy. The food also. A lot of the food is the food that's already made. They're made with inferior ingredients, stuff like that. So the point is that there's a lot of signs out there. Our clothes, I don't know if you notice clothes. I used to buy Hanes undershirts, because I like to wear undershirts. They used to be well made, cotton, very thick. You can still get that same quality, but you got to pay a lot more. There's other brands. You got to go to a little bit more upscale stores, or maybe not upscale, but where they sell, like, maybe Under Armour. Now, if you buy some of the Fruit of the Loom, they very cheap, very thin. The material. I see it as a sign of the decline of America. Excuse me. I always say we're looking like a banana republic, but the signs are there in like the products. There's the rich are getting richer, the poor, they're getting poorer, and the middle class, the people that really work and produce a lot of things, they're hammering us. We're caught in the middle, and they don't want us around. So that's a sign of a banana republic. When you got a big wealth inequality, you got a group of small rich people and a large group of people that are not making as much money. And little by little, the people in the middle class, they're going from the middle class and they're going down. You might have some, that they go up a little bit more, but for the most part, there's a decline, and there's a decline in the standard of living. So anyway, guys, reason I wanted to make this video was because I know things look normal, and that's great. I hope things go back to normal, but I don't think so. I don't think that we're gonna recover as fast as we would like. It's gonna take a while, and the pain's gonna be I mean, it's gonna be pretty severe, and I just don't want y'all to get too comfortable and get too complacent and thinking that everything's great. Get that money that the government's giving you and put it to good use. So anyway, I kind of went a little bit too long. I wasn't planning on going this long, but guys, y'all take care out there, and just look around and prepare. Don't stop preparing. Stock up on food, water, your necessities, and just hang in there, man, and that way you can make it through the storm, till when the sun comes out. So y'all take care out there. Take care of each other and love each other out there. That's what we're here for. God bless.